Saki, Saki, I'm getting the name down, to our guest here. And she says, hi. She says, yes, although I just saw her nod her head. And we're going to talk to Saki about all things Japan tonight. Saki is a broadcaster on HAPS, and we'll find out how long she's been on HAPS, what she's doing on HAPS, and we're going to get the lowdown on like what's going on in Japan right now. So I think there's going to be a lot of really interesting things for us to talk about. I am very excited. I happened to see Saki in the Discord uh, little thing of Haps, and I'm like, oh wow, there's an interesting person. So let's talk to this interesting person. So I am super excited. Let me run my little sponsor everybody clip here, please. Hopefully this is the right. Does that look like the right one? Hold on a second. That does not look right. I thought these things were staying loaded, but oh, that's because I was on the other. All right. Well, what we'll do is we will think about this half a second, and I bet it's something I recently uploaded. It's very short. And go to recents. There it is. And there we go. It should just take a moment to upload. It is not very long. If you have never been on Haps before, if you are watching Saki because you're a big fan, but you haven't joined Haps, join Haps. Let me tell you, there's a lot of good reasons to join Haps. You're going to get coins, and you can give those coins to Saki, and you can give them to me, or you could sponsor her. You could sponsor me with cash. Go into our profiles. There's all kinds of things you can do and have just a blast on Haps. You can do your own broadcasting, and we're going to run this little promo I made, and then we will be right back with Saki. Saki, here we go. And that's not the promo.
I just wanted to take a quick break
Wait.
and quickly say, if you like this program or any of our
Yeah,
programming,
well, okay.
you can support us. You can sponsor us. We have a mission here, and our mission is.
I'm going to have to fire the producer. So I'll have to go since I'm the producer. Because that was some of the footage I used for the clip, but maybe we'll find it again. So let's bring Saki. Y'all get it in here. I'm bad with names. All right, here she is. Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I am good. I have to admit that I'm looking great. I have some new lighting here, and I've been playing around with that, and so I'm very excited. Emily, hello, Kitty.
Emily, Don, hi. My friends.
This is a friend, right?
Yeah, all my friends.
Yes, awesome. And Callie Don and Emily, hello, Kitty. We'll call her Emily, I think. And Got Loose in the chat. Hi, Saki, sister, and Rev Mac. Nice to see you. All right, Saki, you're in Japan. It's 11 in the morning.
Yes.
What'd you have for breakfast?
Yes. I got the miso soup. Do you know
Miso soup. Now, see, right there, I knew this would be a good prompt for us in culture. Miso soup for breakfast. So in the United States and in the West and in Europe, the English came up with this idea of having something totally different for breakfast, right? Muffins and eggs and bacon and toast, totally different than dinner, where they eat like a pile of blobs of potatoes and meat. But in Jamaica, in Korea, in Japan, in Russia, I don't know about Russia for sure, but people don't. They just eat the same thing kind of at dinner that they do at breakfast. Like it's all kind of the same. They don't mix it up too much. Hello Kitty, toast and eggs. Though I do know something else about Japanese culture. They do sometimes like to emulate what they do and what we do in America. So I'm sure you can get, a traditional American breakfast interpreted by Japanese folks in Japan. But I'll stop talking. Am I right? You guys have kind of the same food for breakfast?
Hi, Scott. Yeah, I see American people try to get our food, but Americanized, and the same the other way around here. Like we get American food, but Japanized. Japanized, right?
Right. And I'll be a little. extreme, but like, you go to McDonald's and you're like, I haven't been to Japan, but be like, oh, I'll take a burger, and it'll be like, oh, woo, wait a minute, what's that meat? I don't know what that meat is. I think that's a fish burger. I'm not sure that's what I want
Wait, you
at
don't have fish
McDonald's.
burger over there?
Uh-huh. Do we have a
No?
fish burger? Well, we would have a fish sandwich. Yes, not a fish burger. But
What?
I
I
was just
didn't know
being,
that.
yeah, I mean like, like a fried fish sandwich. Do you know what I'm talking about? With like breading on the outside?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
kind of things here.
Yeah, we are a big
So,
fan of fish.
oh yeah, I mean, you're on an island, for goodness sake. You're
Yeah.
surrounded by fish. And you got,
Yeah.
I mean, oh, we could do so many stereotypical things about Japan, couldn't we? You've all got koi fish in your ponds and all that stuff, and I know that's not true. But yeah, so let's do this. I'm already having fun. Hopefully you're having fun. Heavenly Dew's here. Emily's here. Craig B is here. Scott is here. Look at all these folks. Hey, folks, I think you all know each other, some of you, but make sure you follow each other if you're not. And let's just go right back into the comments earlier, because this was 22 hours ago. David Griffith said, Saki is an amazing cultural ambassador for Japan. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave is my good friend from Canada. Yeah, he's
Oh, awesome.
amazing. Yes,
Very
yes,
good.
yes, yes.
And then Callie Don is just saying Saki. And of course, we
Don
talked to Emily.
always supports me, and Emily is my long-term friend, and Scott always joins my podcast, and you as
Awesome.
well.
That
Yeah,
is
I know
fantastic.
Craig too. Yes, everyone. I know everyone.
So, how did you get into live streaming?
Just to practice speaking English.
Oh, that's a good reason. Probably why I could do that. I
Yeah,
should practice speaking English because I am
but
not going to be able to learn Japanese anytime soon. I have a hard enough time with English, and I literally have a learning disability, a problem with understanding the grammar and stuff of English. So to try and get another culture's grammar would be crazy. So I am very, very envious of you. I think that's awesome, and your English, like I said, is probably better than half of Americans. And the so you got into it to speak English, to speak English better. How long ago was that?
when Periscope, do you know Periscope? Like it's
Yes.
like Twitter Live right now, but when Periscope kind of started, so it's
Uh
like
huh.
almost 6 years ago. Yes, almost 6 years ago.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a
I started
while.
Periscope. Yes, to practice speaking English because I have no chance to speak to anyone back then. I didn't have any chance to speak
Uh huh.
spoken English. So I decided to come on Periscope and talk to people from all over the world. But of course, there are not so many people joining because they don't know me. So I just kept talking, and then slowly people started to come in, join me, and then ask me, of course, like where I'm from, and then I started to say like, I'm from Japan. Then they kept asking me about many questions like about Japanese culture, how it's like there. So that's how I got into culture perspectives, and I got passion from there. Yes.
Very good. I like that. Now, I don't understand what this means, Craig, but Saki was only 61 when Periscope started.
Ah, that's my inside joke. People ask me my age, so
Mm-hmm.
I instead say, I'm 60 something. Yeah.
Well,
To,
you look good
to
for 60
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. I know. So,
It's
but
all that.
when
It's all that
I think
fish,
I'm
honestly.
around, yeah, I turn 70. Yeah, all like healthy food.
All that
Everyone,
omega 3, keeping your skin fresh.
I encourage everyone to keep eating Japanese food to look young and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fish.
You want to look young, and so you started to learn English. You made connections. Do you feel like you got anything else out of live streaming? Anything else that you like about it?
Live streaming. I love live streaming because I can talk to people like this way, not like
Hmm.
after editing the videos, you only see the comments later on, but not like directly interacting with people and making friends, and I can answer the questions right now. So I feel more connected in live streaming. That's
It's
why,
nice to be
yeah.
connected.
Yes, yes, yes. I can interact like this way. It's the best way, I think, to
What is
make
the
friends.
So you said you didn't have a lot of opportunity to speak English 6 years ago. what part of Japan are you in?
Ah, I'm from Okayama. That's not well known, but I
Mm-hmm.
would say, Hiroshima. So
Yes, of course.
Hiroshima, next to Hiroshima, I live in. So
Oh,
very
that's where you
close to
live, next
Hiroshima.
to Hiroshima.
Yes, 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 yes. I talk
That.
about Okayama because it's not well known on my
Mm-hmm.
website.
So wait,
So
is that on the north, the south, the middle? Where is it?
southwestern Japan.
Southwestern.
Yes.
Ooh, that
Yeah, yeah,
you guys got some folks that are kind of like more indigenous Japanese in a sense, right? I mean, you're all indigenous there, but in the north, there's kind of a different group of Japanese people that are, I don't know what they're called, but they're a little different. We'll have to look into
yeah.
that sometime. But for now,
You mean like Ainu or something Hokkaido? Or I
what
don't
are
know.
they?
Ainu. They are
Yeah,
the
I knew. Right?
old
They're more like
tribe. Yes, yes, yes. They are kind of like Russian influenced because of the location. But
gotcha.
yeah, there's a sad history regarding the Ainu because there used to be Ainu people living in Hokkaido, but the
Mm-hmm.
people from Honshu, which is main island, invaded Hokkaido, current Hokkaido, and Ainu people's traditions, culture disappeared suddenly. But there are people who try to preserve this language and culture. So there's
Mm-hmm.
museums about Ainu in Hokkaido, and you can still see this precious like culture, Ainu
Oh,
culture.
well, yeah, there you go. It's kind of interesting um, how it seems to be that indigenous people around the world kind of get a little messed over by other groups. So, but I think that is a great conversation and a topic. And I get we'll probably do this again, but we'll keep it a little lighter here. I had an Akita
Yeah.
I knew. Is that related? Um, I don't think
Mm.
so. I don't think so, Scott. Um, Now, Emily says, "Did you know that Saki is Periscope royalty?" I did not. I did not. I did not see her
No.
papers.
Ah. I mean, I met founder of Periscope, the Kevin. I don't know if you know him. He founded the Periscope, and he came to Tokyo once
Oh,
to see the users in Japan. So,
oh, nice.
yeah, fortunately, I was invited to this special kind of event where like all
Hmm.
these kind of top Japan broadcasters
Oh,
gathered.
cool. Oh, well,
Yes,
Your
yes.
Highness, I am so glad to meet you.
Meh.
You guys have a king. What do you got over there? You got a dude that's like got royal lineage over there. What do they call that guy? Do they call him the king?
We don't have a king, but I think emperor would be the
Emperor. There you go.
closest.
See, yeah,
Yes,
you
yes.
guys still have an emperor over there.
Yeah, yeah, from 2000 years ago.
Like he's related to the same people from like 2,000 years ago. Wow,
Mm, yeah,
that's a
yeah.
long time.
Mythology, so of course, like
Yeah.
2000 years ago, who
Oh
knows?
my
But
gosh, Japanese mythology and the we were talking in the very beginning of the conversation about um, the differences, between culture, and there are so many places to go. So let's do this because I can think of about 12 things we could talk about Japanese culture right now. But what is? Give us a little more about what you do on the show as it relates to culture. So I'll let you take over the show a little bit since you're well seasoned and royal highness in broadcasting. Give me a little taste of what your show would be like. You got some of your audience here, so I'll just be a guest.
oh, okay. I usually just ramble. My interests are all over the places, but I focus on the Japanese traditional culture because many people seem to see more of Japan as a pop culture. We have full of pop culture. Tokyo, we have these tall buildings and skyscrapers, but there's also traditional part where it's like Kyoto, for example, but also in the suburbs, there are so many traditional houses that's like preserved from ages ago. and I realized that that's the more like a Japanese spirit there. Even though these days there are modern culture being popular, so I started to get interested in like old stuff, old Japanese tribes and old Japanese spirits and samurai and ideas and how our ancestors try to kind of preserve Japan as a country, and how why Japan is like today, or what I do in the shrines and temples and all these stuff that I have done in a daily basis from since childhood, but I didn't understand why I do that. I just do it because my family told me to do so, but I didn't understand the concept of this. So I decided to learn more the depths, also so that I can teach and also share the beauty part of the Japan, like real Japan, more like. But of course, I love the modern Japan as well. Like we coexist the modern and traditional. So it's also very interesting part of Japan. But I more fan of traditional. So I guess it's kind of rare also for you to see like someone wearing kimono or someone explain the details about the history, um, focusing those. Yes. So I just focus more on the traditional. Yes, history. Yeah.
Well, that is. I have a very close friend um, who is Japanese, and she lives in America, but she actually, my gosh, she goes to Japan practically once a month. Well, with COVID, not as much, but she works. She's a neuropsychologist, and so she
Oh,
works
nice.
in medicine and in drug trials in Japan. But Sayaka and I have known each other, I don't know, for about 10 years. So I've got a bit more depth and knowledge, I think, of Japanese culture than the average American might, but just a small little taste of it. And I know originally I think she's from in and around Tokyo a bit, but interestingly, both of her parents, one is a psychologist, one is a psychiatrist, and we often talk about the differences with her being a psychologist in the U.S. and that the U.S. psychology is not compatible at all with Japanese psychology. Like you cannot become a psychologist in the United States and even comprehend how to do psychology in Japan because it is so different culturally, especially. But Japanese traditional culture and kimonos. So I'm a little familiar with kimonos, but give us a little bit about tell people in case they don't know what a kimono is. What is a kimono, and why would somebody wear it?
Uh, like before we started to get more Western culture, we had already established our own uniform, which
Mm-hmm.
is like today's kimono, but it was slightly different. We wear it daily on a daily basis, so it was like really Japanese uniform or Japanese dresses. We say for today's dresses, Western clothes, not like just clothes, so that we can differentiate. So kimono used to be just a daily like basis stuff, but
It was just
we
like your
started
daily
to.
clothes, right? Just what you wore.
Yeah. That was kimono. Kimono is like literally it's kirumono in Japanese, which is something to wear. So it's literally Japanese something to wear. So it was like our just own clothes. Yeah, but yeah, these days we think like kimono is more special or only for special occasions, and also there are less people who can make kimono from the past knowledge, so they got more precious and got more expensive and kind of harder to get, and it's something I don't like about, because I want more kimono to be worn more casually and try to show the kimono and in a modern way as well. Like these days, these young people started to realize like how beautiful kimono could be and how you can combine the modern like designs and kimono. And that's a nice thing to see, because kimono was kind of like disappearing, and it's a shame. But these days change according to the era. We try
Yeah,
to
it's
shift.
So you can't. I'm going to get something to wear. I recommend a Hello Kitty kimono. Well, just based on your name, I would guess that that would be the case. Hey, a pair, Hello Kitty shorts and shirts. All kinds of pillows, all kinds of fun Hello Kitty stuff. The Ask Saki to explain the origin of the Dogiza festival
Dog
in.
is like, yeah, it's he asks me so specific questions. I have
Hmm.
to research. So I will get back to you, after doing more research.
Okay,
He got a good point, but always difficult questions often, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I always
gotcha,
learn from him. Yeah.
gotcha. I I, I feel you on that. The Yep, Hello Kitty, everything. Yay. So you don't. Oh, somebody asked how many kimonos do you have?
Ah, 10, 11.
Well, that's
Yeah,
not too many. It's not too bad.
yeah. I mean, kimono depends on people, I guess, because my family had a teacher from tea ceremony, so that's why I got many of the kimono from my family. But usually, kimono could be very expensive, so not so many people have that many actually. Only the special ones, one or two, or even none these days. Family treasure kinda these days.
Hmm.
Yes.
The so most of the kimonos you have now would be kind of fancy.
Yes,
More,
and very
yeah.
expensive too. Yeah. Also, people ask me, oh, so how much kimono costs,
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very difficult question because just like many stuff, there are cheap kimonos and also could be very expensive
Mm-hmm.
as well. So I can't say exactly how much, but uh, these days it's easier to have kimono because there are stores that think, oh, it's a mottainai, it's such a waste to put kimono in somewhere and you don't wear it anytime. So let's just bring the antique kimono and sell this with a cheap price. So young generations started to buy the antique kimono and include this as a fashion kinda. Yes, and
Ah,
recycling. Yes.
so they
That the
were
way you can
recycling
enjoy
the
kimono.
older
Yes,
kimonos.
yes,
Well, I would imagine the more higher end kimonos take a lot of expertise and time to make.
yeah.
I would guess that they manufacture cheap copies of kimonos in China. I would imagine you can probably get a cheap Chinese knockoff kimono. Um, would imagine those are everywhere. But
Yeah.
yeah, expensive silk. My God, think of how many. Geez, that's a lot of silk actually, just for one kimono.
Mm, yeah.
Um, what did you what did you like what made you shift to really wanting to go traditional and understanding the traditional culture? You said there were certain things that your family taught you, but then you wanted to look into these, and I want to touch a little bit on temple, because religion and spirituality, again, a little bit different in Japan than in the
Mm,
West. So
mm.
we can also talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. We have, I mean, two religion. Temples, of course, is one of them, but we got this from India through China and then Japan. So totally different from other Asian countries. We established our own Buddhism ideas.
Buddhism, yep.
So, so yes, so Japanese Buddhism is different from what you imagine in other Asian countries. And also we have Shintoism, which is connected to shrines. So you see this Torii gate. I don't know if you see it before, but there's a gate, and that's how you can tell from each shrine or temple. Many people get confused, but we have only these two religion. Only a few Christians, but very few. So that's the main our religions. Yes.
Right. The let me see if I can pull up an example here, and let's see. We'll put this up here. This will be fun. Let me open this in a new tab. See if there's any new comments there for a second, Saki,
Yeah.
while I'm.
Hi, Andy. Yes, God, silk is very expensive. Yeah. Also, like Japanese experts when it comes to kimono, they don't want to compromise, so they don't want to use cheap silk so that they can sell these kimono to bigger audiences. So it's a different marketing, kind of like how you can sell the kimono, but also could be affordable. We don't want to compromise our expertise.
Here we go. Let me pull this up.
Okay.
That should upload quickly. It did. And there it is.
Hello Kitty kimono. I want. Yeah, that's the Shintoism. That came
Mm-hmm.
from Shintoism. The people say, "Oh, is it a temple?" or "Oh, is it a shrine?" You know, people get confused. But that's the sign of Shinto. That's the shrine. If you don't see this, in other words, that is temple. Yeah.
But
That,
that configuration of the gate, that's representative of Shintoism, right? I mean,
yeah.
that's the symbol. Like in the West, you have the
Yeah.
cross. That's the symbol, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that particular gate that goes up some kind of trail path into the mountains, right?
Yeah. Depends
Yeah.
on where you are because shrines are everywhere, really, like each
Okay, they're
corner.
everywhere. But
Yes,
they're
yes.
but the shrine can be outside. It's not going to be like a temple with a roof necessarily, right?
Not necessary. More like
Yeah.
nature, because the Shintoism, the idea is hugely connected with nature. That's why it's outside. Mm.
Wow, Craig is like really, yeah, digging into Japan
Ooh.
here a lot. Um, Craig is definitely a Japanophile, I think. Um,
Japanophile.
yeah.
I love this word. Yeah, yeah. Aussie gate, tree gate. I would love to visit your Aussie tree gate. That would be great. Great. Maybe visit with kimono.
Yeah, so the Shinto idea, can you like
Do you have any ideas about Shinto? Have
I
you ever
don't,
heard?
but the nature of it, to my very limited understanding, I think to somebody in the West, that it would seem much more of an agnostic thing. I mean, it's not, you're not like hardcore worshiping a deity, right?
Exactly. That's a good point. Shintoism is very vague. You know, for example, Christianity, you have this one only God, but
Right.
Shintoism, there could be many gods as you can imagine. Like this stone has kind of like God, like a spirit, but also this mountain could be my god, or anything that's often related to nature because of our life in the past. Like we have had the natural disasters, and we had to coexist. We have to figure out how we can live together peacefully, and we can't be against nature. So what we try to do is understand the nature and try to appreciate and also collaborate. Maybe when we make rice and yeah, so mostly appreciation, gratitude, is the origin of Shintoism. So not like God,
Ah,
so strict.
gratitude. Okay. Well,
Yes.
that see feels to me much about what I think of when I think of Japanese culture, because we were talking about this before about COVID, and I was very surprised that you guys were having an issue because, from my perspective, red-blooded American with freedom and constitutions, Japan is this kind of conformist culture. Asian culture tends to be a little more conformist. Like the boss at the top tells you what to do, and you're like, okay, no problem. Now, you might later, rebel, but I mean, you're going to say fine first. So, but that does feel like that Shintoism is, even if you're not a particularly a follower of Shintoism, it's in the
Yeah.
culture. It's everything Japanese. It's been there for thousands of years, probably.
Hmm. Yeah. It's before from Buddhism.
It's
So
before Buddhism. Yes,
before Buddhism. So Buddhism came later on. So Shintoism,
gotcha.
it's the only unique our religion. That's
For Japan.
oldest. Yes, of Japan. Only in
Makes very,
Japan.
very, very much sense. I wanted to say, Emily, that you stated that somebody might be obsessed with something, and that you were happy that that you didn't particularly have any kind of obsession. But I mean, I was just thinking, just kind of based on your name, Hello Kitty.
Hello,
I
Kitty.
mean, I think you like Hello Kitty a little bit. I could be wrong. I'm just saying.
Oh, I
So
like obsessions. I'm obsessed with Japanese old culture or anything Asian. It's something. So it's not bad to be obsessed with
Oh
any.
no, no, no. Hello Kitty obsession is totally
And
fine.
I love Hello
And
Kitty too. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that even Hello Kitty has a deep kind of cultural significance, embedded in it. I mean, it's interesting. Me obsessed. We okay. I'm seriously obsessed. Nothing wrong with it. I'm obsessed with a lot of things. Don't want to mention any of them, but but the or their names. No, I'm just kidding. But the, the so modern Japanese culture versus traditional Japanese culture. Do Tokyo, residents, do they kind of look down on traditional culture? Are they kind of snobby about it?
No, that's a good question. But Tokyo actually doesn't have many local residents. Many came from other parts
Other
of
places
Japan. Yes, yes, maybe like New York, probably.
or
There are
California?
few
Hmm.
local, yes, a few local people. So there's this Edo. We say like Edoko, which is like a real Tokyo people. Edo is our old name of Tokyo, and the real Edoko is like three generations before, like they live from Tokyo, but there are so less people like that. So actually, Tokyo has many just people from outside Tokyo. Yeah.
Very cool. Um,
Mm-mm-mm.
we are 30 minutes in, and I need to be. Um, we're fine, but I need to be on my little schedule because I got to get better at it. And so,
Okay.
listen, folks, you can sponsor Saki on her page. You can go to her profile page. You can become a sponsor for
Thank
her.
you.
$5 a month, $10 a month. I don't know. Can you be a sponsor? Because they can't
I
pay
don't know
you,
if
can
I
they?
turned it on. I
They
have to
can't
look
pay
again.
you out. Yeah, they
I
can't do a payout
mean,
because you're in Japan.
no, no, no. I think I can. I don't know if
PayPal.
I just turned on the sponsorship thing. I have to
Oh yeah, and
see.
I realize international folks I think can do it through PayPal to get paid
Mm-hmm,
out.
yes.
And we can always check into that too. You're stuck now, Rev. We'll never let you escape. Hey, suck me into the void. I'm happy. Hello Kitty's cute. I'll survive. Uh, I'm fast on my feet. Well, metaphorically anyway. But the um, was I just talking about? Because I started thinking about the metaphorical
Tokyo
Hello Kitty.
people look down. If you
Oh
ask
yeah,
me,
right.
so
And
I wouldn't say people from Tokyo look down because that's they are not Tokyo. But I guess people from like really people real Tokyo people think they are proud, Edo culture because it's the old Tokyo culture is really unique in a way. So I would say these people who really came from Tokyo may think, Osaka, for example, it's I don't like people from Osaka. Mm-mm-mm. They are not so how to say
not
it's
so they're a little
people.
provincial. They're not so
Mm,
cultured.
yeah, they are very different. I would say Edo people more like refined maybe, but Osaka people they are more like cheap stuff. That's a stereotype. They say like, oh, make this cheap or being loud. These kind of stereotypes. They have maybe from Edo, in Tokyo people. So they are kind of like a very different. Yes, yes.
Well, that what is What is the distance from where you are to Tokyo? How long would it take you to get there?
I think it's far because I'm close to more like Osaka part because west,
Okay.
Osaka is more west, so
Like you'd have to
700
take the train
kilometers.
many hours.
Yeah. By the bullet train, which is the fastest train, I think 3 hours around.
Ooh,
But
then that's very far because that train goes fast.
yes, very
The train
far.
goes very fast. So, how do you? How often do you get to travel to Tokyo?
Not
Pre-COVID,
many
anyway.
often because I don't feel so fascinated by Tokyo. I'm
Ah,
obviously
so it's
a
just not a
fan
place
of
you want to go.
traditional places or suburbs where it's like a hidden, we call it
Uh huh.
countryside, or that's not a yet discovered places. I like to explore these places, so I prefer to stay in my area or near the maybe ocean, like beaches or around. My area is mostly like all about islands, so I can
Oh,
explore
okay.
more
Well, let's touch on
islands.
that a little deeper. Hello Kitty, Emily, and I just realized that this says Light Zoo, not Loud Zoo, which is different. But we'll see you. Thanks for coming by. Come by and see us, sometime. Feel free. Always happy to have new folks here. And Craig B says, take the Hello Kitty train. Hell, I'm sure there's going to be a Hello Kitty
Hello Kitty
rocket
train.
someday. Once Japan
Yeah.
starts traveling to Mars, you'll be able to take the special Hello Kitty edition
Yeah, Hello
of the
Kitty train. I
spaceship.
saw it. From the Kansai airport, the international airport, to the Shin Osaka station. Osaka station is a train which has a Hello Kitty design. I took the picture.
I think the obsession, for lack of a better word, of certain things in Japanese culture. I think Americans, probably. I don't think we probably have an understanding of what those things would mean, to place it from anything in Japan because we don't have those same um, cultural traits. I think in that way we do obsess over things,
Mm,
but so much has come from Japan too, from manga to all of these things, and we really have a
yeah.
nice, we kind of fought a nasty war against each other for a while ago, but Japan and America are like lockstep with each other in terms of friendship and helping each other out and all of that kind of stuff on the higher level. How often do Americans come to your part of Japan?
Americans. Because my area is not so touristic. It's not as well known.
Hmm.
But I think many Americans tend to come to my area too, to go to Hiroshima, for example, near my area.
Gotcha.
So yeah. I see many American tourists in Japan in general. I feel like there are so many coming to Japan, and it's nice to see like they are very interested in my country and explore, and fascinated by our you know buildings or the food, and I'm sure like it's different. I've never been to the US, so I can't tell the differences. And it's also interesting for me to hear what they have to say about like what's this or what's that. And for me it's normal, of course. So you're interested in this or that I also learn from American tourists, when they ask me certain stuff about Japan. Yes.
Um, what's your day job?
I'm tutor Japanese language.
Oh,
I'm
you
a, I'm a
teach
yeah,
you
I
teach
teach
English
Japanese
speakers
language.
Japanese.
Also, mostly German too, because
Oh, spreche de
yes,
Deutsch. Okay.
I speak. I spreche ein bisschen Deutsch.
You speak
So I
German?
have a yeah, intermediate,
Oh,
not so
wow.
much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Man, you are like multi-talented with your languages. German I mean, German and English share some words, but it's Germanic language. It's not a Romance language, so it's a different. Oh, Germans. I mean, boy, think about Americans or Western Europeans versus Germans and Japanese. Talk about three very different cultures. I was
Yeah.
just, and in fact, tonight I think because I haven't been able to get hold of him, but I think I've got a German. His name is Mirko Ross, a German cybersecurity expert that's going to come on later tonight. And
Oh, cool.
I was very interested in a cybersecurity expert from Germany because in Germany, that culture is, again, like you think about a conformist culture. It is totally different. They kind of have negative law versus positive law,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a different
Mm-hmm.
story for another time. What do you want to like? You want to come to America? Like when COVID is gone, like what would you want to do? Like America's pretty big,
Ah,
so what would you want to do if you came here?
ah, good question. I wanna see a stereotype, maybe stereotyped idea, but I guess I wanna see the Hollywood or Los Angeles or
Hmm.
Las Vegas and so many. Also, I wanna go to the typical hamburger hamburger shops and
Yeah, sure.
try
There you go. There you go. It won't be
yeah,
Kobe beef. I'll tell you that.
yeah. I want to try like so American stuff. People tell
Yeah,
me. Yes, yes, yes.
that sounds very fun. I think I think nothing wrong with wanting to kind of to see that what we think of as Hollywood and Vegas. I mean, the I was in North Hollywood not that long ago, and it's fun to to say I was in North Hollywood or I was in
Mm-mm.
Hollywood. I mean, it's got a certain romance about around it. So definitely, I wouldn't. It can be stereotyped a little bit, but
Okay.
Hollywood's pretty wacky. So, um, In and Out Burger, Richard says.
Yeah, Richard is my friend. He visited me in Okayama,
Oh
even
wow,
twice. So I want to visit him in California. California. Yes,
sounds like
California
a
is
fair trade.
my somewhere I want to visit. Yes, Um, so it looks beautiful there too. So yeah.
California's, except when it's on fire, which lately is most of the time, unfortunately. Um, it's very beautiful, and no offense, Richard, but I guess the glow of the fires look good at night. Sorry, I don't want to make fun of the tragedy, but it's frustrating with California and fires because if you just folks would do prescribed burns, things would be better there. But again, we can have that conversation another time. Hey, what about like what do your friends and family and stuff think about you being a periscoper or a hapster now? What do they think about live streaming?
Oh, you mean live
I mean, do they
streaming?
think, oh my gosh, Saki is weird? She's doing all that broadcasting, or
Ah,
do they
in
think it's fun? Or
here or uh, I
your
don't know.
family? What does your
My
family think about
family,
your live streaming?
my family thinks I'm crazy, but in every aspect. So they're like used to it, and at this point they're like,
So it's just not
she's
live
doing
streaming.
something.
You're just wacko.
Yeah, every aspect. Like, I go to travel abroad like many times, and I speak like English. They don't speak English so much, and I also talk always with someone in English, and not talking with someone from Japan. I'm always interested in something different, maybe not about something they are interested in. So they think, oh, she's weird, but I'm happy about being weird. It's like a compliment nowadays. Like I feel, yeah, okay,
I would
I'm happy
agree.
to be weird.
I would agree. It's good to be weird. You don't want to be,
Yeah,
what is normal anyway?
yeah,
So
true.
if you were going to not, like I said, I'm not great at it, but um, give us a little bit of um, how do you even start to teach somebody Japanese?
Ah, that's also difficult because we have different characters. If
Mm-hmm.
you may notice, we don't use alphabets. We
Right.
use street characters, and one
You,
of
you
them
you
came from China. Yeah.
right. Chinese. You have Chinese characters and Japanese characters, right? Yeah, and you have
Yes.
if you take in Chinese characters into account, you have hundreds of characters to choose from, and not just. But a
Mm-hmm.
character also isn't equated to a letter per se because a character itself can have a pretty large meaning, right?
How to say that? It's it doesn't have the meaning itself. It's a sound, a, I, ue, o, ka, kiku, keko, and we combine them and make the words. The easiest is like I. It's like a love in Japanese. I and a is like a boil. Yeah. We have always boils in each word. How to describe this? But we have the each hiragana for each sound, kinda. Yeah. That's. But also we
But
have
so a character
katakana.
can kind of tell you how to make the sound, right? It's kind of written in there. Is
Yes,
that
yes,
right?
yes, 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 yes. Written there,
Yeah.
so you
It's
pronounce according to
descriptive.
that.
Like I
Yes.
see an A and the lines just mean letter A. They don't also mean, you know, because
Yeah,
an
yeah,
A
yeah,
can
yeah.
be an
Exactly.
A or an ah, right? So it doesn't tell you descriptively how to use it. You have to pick those signals up from somewhere else. But
Yes,
in a
yes, yes.
Japanese character, it can
At
literally
first, you
say
have
to
to
you,
learn signal.
yes,
Yes, yes, yes, yes.
which is interesting because in German language, they have massive words sometimes that, almost are like an entire constructed sentence, but it's just one word because their words can
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
very long meaning within them. So, I mean, you got a
Mm.
pretty good brain if you can scramble all that together and talk. It's pretty good.
I guess like I've learned English. That's why it's not that difficult for me to learn German. I guess like
No, I
it's
would, I
I
mean,
got the
definitely it's
hang
going to
of
give you
learning.
a leg up. If you had learned
But of
English,
course, German is difficult.
yeah, I would think German's a difficult language. Oh, though Dr. Hooper on here, I don't know if you know her. She is moving to Helsinki, and we were talking about
Ooh.
the Finnish language is seriously hard to learn. Um, I looked,
I
I
bet
watched a
so.
video about the differences between English and Finnish, and I mean, I'm a pretty smart guy. I was like, yeah, no, not going to happen. Never, ever, ever, because like in English, if I don't know the word train, I can't think of a word actually right now, but it wouldn't necessarily be that much different in Spanish or you can kind of figure out what the word might be, but like in Finnish, like if you say hot dog and in Finnish, it's not going to be anything close to a hot dog. It might be like blue, blah, blah, blah. It's just like
Oh
uncomprehensible.
no!
Like what the word is. So anyway, I admire people that can speak multiple languages. I think that's
Wait,
very
wait.
cool.
But if we talk about hot dog, then we say hot dog too in Japanese.
Right, because it's not you don't have hot dogs in the Japanese in
Yes,
Japan,
yes,
so
yes,
you just use the
yes. So
English word.
easier this in this regard compared to Finnish.
Right,
Just
right.
wanted
Well,
to
what
add
what
this.
what what drove you to learn English? What prompted you to learn English?
Ah, good question. I I learned English at school, and I found it fascinating because I could communicate with people from different countries. Only Japanese. I can speak with only Japanese people,
Hmm.
obviously. So I found it boring. So and I don't know alphabets. I like to just write alphabets and oh, this looks so exotic for me. This looks different of Japanese signals. So let's try to learn this. And then I got just got interested more and more in the language itself and how it tells the culture, how people think, the way people think, or there's some expressions we don't have, but in English you have, or vice versa. So I can tell the many stuff from learning the language itself. So
Thanks,
I
Greg.
guess, yeah, that's the reason why I learn English. But mostly communication too. Like I want to know the different cultures. For that, I want to be able to speak their languages. So I want to learn as many as possible and
Well, speaking the
speak it.
language can help you have better references, to the embedded culture that's there, and definitely understanding it. The I want to jump on to the question that we started out before we got on the air a little bit because you were talking about COVID and
Yes,
things not
yes, yes.
going real well there. And I was very surprised because, Japan is a very wealthy country, and I would have suspected that you had lots of vaccines. But you're saying that there aren't a lot, and it's mostly the government. And
Mm-mm,
also, we heard here that a lot of Japanese people didn't want the Olympics to happen. They thought that
mm-mm,
they
mm-mm,
should postpone it,
mm-mm,
right?
mm-mm. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like about the politics, but yeah, we have this, yeah, frustrations against the government, also Olympics, but also the vaccines. And I guess one of the reasons I assume is this kind of language barrier. Like the researchers here, for example, can't speak English properly, or if they can, even if they can, they are very skilled, so they go abroad because the government doesn't support researchers with the finances, for example. So we lack these skilled people inside of the country, kinda.
Oh wow.
And it's a shame because Japan used to have a lot of skilled people and who got, you know, appreciated more. But these days, people feel like, Japan doesn't support my work, or just the government doesn't do well. I don't see the future here, yeah, etc. So the Olympics kind of like was a big sign of this frustration. Like it's a good reflection of our frustrations in our daily lives.
Do
Yes,
you
yes.
think Shinzo Abe will have problem getting reelected, or is he even going to run? What do you think?
Uh, but you mean the
Well, did
pres?
I not
Yeah, I
hear the
couldn't
name of
hear
your
you well.
prime
Well.
minister?
Prime minister. Yesterday he said he will quit. Actually, our current prime minister. Um,
Yeah, not surprised. I
he
can't imagine he's too popular right now.
yes, yes, and yeah, it's gonna be happening soon because we need someone to kind of like lead us during these chaotic
Crisis.
situations. Yes, crisis. So there are some candidates already like saying that we're running, and I would like to be the next prime minister and stuff. But yeah, I feel like the politicians in Japan nowadays, they lack the leadership compared to the past ones, I would
Hmm.
say. Yes, 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 yes. And I think that
Well,
the reason is because, yeah, that's why vaccine and other stuff we don't deal with this well. Mm.
huh. That is so interesting to me because, Japan was doing so well in the beginning, and part of that is, um, you know, being on an island and being able to be isolated, from everybody else, is definite. What we saw in New Zealand, where they were able to lock down, and New Zealand's
Mm.
smaller than Japan population wise, but they were able to lock down because they were on an island. So I fully expected that, Japan would just kind of breeze right through it and be fine. So, like I said, I'll go. I'll go ship you some vaccines.
Yeah,
We got
please.
plenty here.
Yeah, I need vaccine. But
Yeah.
I think also we have to rely on the foreign countries because in the past we made many stuff in Japan, inside
Hmm.
Japan, so we could like live with this. But nowadays, again, like I said, like researchers go abroad and not good ones stay here, so we can't make the products by ourselves. And even if we could, we are trying to create our vaccine here, but it
Hmm.
takes so much time. So I don't think it's gonna be here anytime soon. So such
Well,
stuff happen.
hopefully you'll get some new
Mm.
leadership and they'll, buy some vaccine
Yeah, me
from
too. Yes,
Pfizer
yes, yes,
or
yes.
Moderna or something and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
get it there. I mean, th- there is it'd be a delay even if they bought it now, you know what I mean? Because it's going to take a little while to ramp up
Yes.
production probably to cover Japan. But for goodness sakes, folks, let's I mean, Japan is a first world country. You guys need to, get out of the darkness of the COVID a
I
little bit.
know, right? I know.
Yeah, that's kind of depressing. I mean, now I got my new friend Saki over there and got to worry about her not being vaccinated. Come on, Prime Minister, get your
I
act together.
know. Yeah, I know. It's so sad. It's
Yeah.
just,
The
yeah.
um did you were you able to continue to work during the? Are you guys still locked down? I mean, are you guys? Can
No,
you
we don't
travel
have
within the country now?
lockdown. No, we don't have by law. There's no lockdown. So
Hmm.
they have to. Politicians have to make an action about this kind of law, emergency kind of like lockdown, to make it happen here. And politicians that don't do this, so we still go out and do normal stuff. Only they do limit the opening hours at stores, or they even request them to close their businesses and stuff. And there's yeah, so there's no much power upon us, kinda. Yes.
Well, the because people will watch this obviously on replay, and it'll be up on yours.
Yeah.
Um, what are you? When do you have a regular broadcast schedule? Like, do you at the same time or?
No, I do very spontaneously because I also give a tour, like in the historical districts, for example. I like to show people around these areas, but I do also do this spontaneously, so I can always don't schedule. And but right now, of course, it's kind of difficult to go outside and give you guys a tour. Maybe in the neighborhood shrine, I will go at some point. But yeah, I don't have, so make sure to just follow me, then maybe I just come show up, who knows. I will just go live, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll have to make sure. The thing drives me a little crazy about Haps. If anybody from Haps is listening, I wish I could, like turn off everybody's notification at once and then just turn
um,
on the ones that I want because I get like about a billion
yeah, yeah, yeah,
notifications
yeah.
all the time, and so I don't know when people are on. But also, you know what? I know we've been jumping all around here, but this you guys have there's a like a forest in Japan where people go like to commit suicide, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. How was it
Yeah, I mean
called?
that's a
uh,
horrible thing, but culturally, again, very different. Um, it's just a very strange thing.
yeah, I don't, to be honest, I didn't know much about the forest until people outside Japan asked me. In Japan, I'm not sure how famous this forest is.
It's very quiet, probably not talked about.
Yeah, yeah, or it's like a taboo subject because
Hmm.
suicide stuff. You know, like our suicide rates, it's bigger than the many countries. So people think, like, it's not something we want to talk about. And mental health stuff, we are very
Hmm.
behind, or I'd say like it's a taboo subject still. So yeah, it's a difficult part of the Japan. Like being here, it's not, yeah, common to talk about mental health. Uh,
Well, that is something that I actually talk about a lot. I have bipolar. I was homeless. The
wow.
um, so many of so many of the things that kind of influence me are definitely part of that bipolar and those things that I have. So that even in these brief moments here, to be able to just address the idea even of suicide um, is something that I think is significant. I can't pronounce the name of the forest here. Hang on a second. Let me put this here. Um,
I
I'll
forgot
get
the
it to you
name.
on this link.
Aokigahara. Aokigahara.
Aokigahara. Aokigahara.
Yeah,
I didn't
Aokigahara.
emphasize my H enough. Aokigahara. I can't do that. But
Akihabara is another place. Do you know Akihabara?
what's that?
Akihabara. Do you know Akihabara? It's
Mm-mm.
it's for nerds. Like all anime stuff, figures. If you're a big fan of like anime, then or comics, manga,
Mm-hmm.
then or electronic stuff, very advanced electronic products in Akihabara. It's a part of Tokyo, and many people like to go to Akihabara,
Oh, it's a
especially.
place. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, it's a
cool.
place. Yes, 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 yes.
Wait a minute. Let's see.
Akihabara. It's like a otaku place. Akihabara.
I found it here. Tokyo Travel Japan Guide. Let's take a peek. Oh,
Akihabara.
okay. Yeah. It's like Times Square on acid.
Ah, yeah, 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 true. Something like
Let's
this.
show a picture here.
People
Let me find a good one.
dream of going there, Akihabara.
Who
Yes.
does?
Like these people who are fan of Japanese idols or pop culture, anime. These people dream of going to Akihabara often. Like they want to
Gotcha. It's like
at
the
least stop by. Yes, yes, yes.
anime mecca.
Mm.
You get that reference?
Mecca? What is
Mecca,
Mecca?
like in Muslim religion, you've got Mecca in Saudi Arabia where everybody goes to kind of worship.
I think it's yes, yes, yes.
It's not totally analogous, but I'm just making it kind of a relationship to it. Let's see. Let
Mm,
me save that
yes,
image real
yes.
quick and we'll show everybody what we're talking about. Fun thing
Uh,
about Haps is we can throw pictures up here.
Comic Con. Ah, yeah, Comic Con. Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this anime stuff, so I'm not so sure how to describe. Ah, yes, that's the Akihabara. Mm,
Gotcha.
yes.
Very it's so interesting I don't the dichotomy between within your own culture. Obviously, we have that a lot everywhere, but to go from kimono to um, that manga, anime, Hello Kitty. You've got the young men that can't meet women and can't get jobs and play video
Ah,
games and like you guys are all over, right? Extremes. There's a lot of extremes in Japan in a lot of ways, right?
yes, yes, yes. People say that too often to me. Like, how does it, how it's possible to just have these in one place? And I
How do you
also wonder
reconcile,
why.
right, with X and Y? How can those even go together? But they
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah, yeah. They
in
can't
Japan,
do
very much
much.
so.
Yes, 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 yes.
Like Comic Con. Yeah, there you go. Comic Con
Yeah, yeah.
again
It's a,
in a big
a
way.
comic festival stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Um, but
What
if
is?
you go to Tokyo Tower,
Mhm.
you see this temple, Asakusa temple. But also, if you look at the other angle, you see these high, tall buildings too. So it's like you see one very advanced stuff, but one very traditional stuff, in one place, kind of too.
In one place.
So
Oh,
yes,
that's very
yes,
interesting.
yeah, yeah,
That's very, very interesting. The just everybody, so you know, you're watching Haps. My name is Revolution McKinnis. This is the big interview. I'm with Saki, and we are talking kind of all things Japanese, getting to know each other. And what you know what we should do sometime too is
yeah,
we
for
should pick
sure.
some
It's
things.
been so much fun for me.
Yeah, we should
It's
pick some things in specific to go into a little more detail on and have
sure,
another
yeah.
show because I like the idea of really kind of getting these cross connections through the culture through just
Me too.
two regular people like us. You know what I mean? We're not like historians or anything. Just two people.
Yeah, yeah,
10,000
yeah,
miles
yeah.
apart, comparing our
Yeah,
cultures. I think
crazy.
it is. It's very
Yeah,
crazy. Super
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
run this promo. I was able to load it. We'll be right back. Everybody, catch yourself a 45-second break if you need to grab some water or whatever. We'll be right back.
There. I just wanted to take a quick break and quickly say if you like this program or any of our programming, you can support us. You can sponsor us. We have a mission here, and our mission is to bring voices to live streaming and to the world that don't normally get heard. If you check my Instagram and check the story about Olivia Robinson, you can see what I'm talking about. But I would really appreciate it if you could go to the sponsor page. Is it I've got information there and sponsor me. You can do it right here on HAPS, $5 a month. $50 a month, $10 a month, whatever you're comfortable with. But support our work and support this kind of programming. I think it's important, and I hope you do too.
And we are coming back after I push the right button. Everybody, bear with me 1 second because I'm checking to see the status of Mirko Ross and see if we're going to get him on with us tonight. Where did Signal send this code? Of course, it sent it to the phone that I can't check. Hang on a second. No, there it is. 645. Hang on. It's a lovely thing about live streaming. We're not beholding to anybody. We can take a little diversion. Okay, let's see.
I go through the comments. People, if you have any questions.
Yeah, pop through the comments here.
Yeah, I will answer anything. Meanwhile.
Can't make it work without
Oh.
that that phone, but that's the phone I'm using for my video.
Oh, okay.
But I hit him up on Twitter. Hopefully, he'll see that. The yeah, we should definitely pick a subject or two and go into a little more
Sure,
depth.
of course. Yeah,
I think that would be fun. And definitely when you're able to get out and about. I mean, the nice thing about Japan and even further to the west, I guess, for you, like Malaysia and things like that, is you guys kind of line up kind of nicely time wise. I mean, it's 11 in the morning for you. It's, 9 or 10 o'clock at night here. So, both of us are like awake and can kind of, talk to each other as opposed to, other places in the world where it's difficult, where Mirko, it's like 5 in the morning in Germany right now or something. So, yeah, this makes it very nice. And I have just enjoyed myself tremendously. I am so excited to have a new friend. And
yeah, so do I. I'm happy to have you as a friend too. It's
yeah,
a nice. You ask me the questions that's I'm passionate about. So really appreciate you asking. Yes, yes.
well, good. I'm glad you had I'm glad you had a fun time. Willie loves Japan. Happy that you love Japan, Willie. Nice to see you, Scott. Willie. We have David, Richard, of course. Emily, Hello Kitty, was here before, and Emily's in Dallas and a sound engineer. So that's very interesting. Craig B. These are all very Kelly Dunn.
Yeah.
We mentioned Scott. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, what does this mean? Hold on a second. I got to put this on the screen.
Andy, hi. Thank you, Andy. Same to you. Andy, I want to visit Andy too. He
Nice.
Oh, poop teacher. This is like a new, my joke, not new, old joke. I used to go to the toilet and show you how advanced our toilets are.
Oh, yes. Yes,
If
yes, yes.
you
You're very
approach
super
the
advanced.
toilet, yes, then it opens,
Mm-hmm.
So I found it very fascinating, and I like the toilets here. So I shared toilets on Periscope.
Well, I
and
mean, your
I started
toilets practically cook dinner for you and tell you your health, Like, oh my gosh, we've just detected that you didn't eat enough food today and, kind of a grumpy, Just be nice today. We analyzed your poop and you seem a little mean.
Yeah, I got so many poop cushions, poop stuff from my friends on Periscope.
You know what's funny? That we're talking about poop, first of all. But I definitely, again, soup, not, we just have toilet seats here with toilets mainly. I mean, you can buy them here too, but Japanese people also just squat and poop in a hole in the ground.
I didn't know that it was only in Japan. I thought it's a universal stuff.
Oh, Mexico, they do it. A lot of countries that, that don't have sophisticated systems do it, because I've been to Mexico and in the bathroom, what? You want me to what? How am I going to in there? No, that's not happening. I need to sit on something. So, yes. See, even in Japan, you got the hole that you poop in, or the fancy Rolls Royce
Yeah, you have
Cadillac, you
choices.
know, toilet
Yeah,
seat that you can be engaged to practically by the time you're done. You get to know each other so well. I'm
that's
marrying
so
my toilet seat.
true. Yeah.
Oh, too bad Emily wasn't here for that discussion.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I just
Oh,
talked about Andy. He lives in Washington D.C. So that's also another place I want to visit. I want to meet
well,
him with
California,
sakura
Chicago, and
sakura
Washington,
trees.
D.C. Yeah.
Sakura trees. These cherry
Uh-uh.
blossom trees.
Oh, yeah,
We
the cherry
sent.
blossom trees that the
Yeah,
Japanese people
in
gave to
Washington
us.
D.C.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I want to see
Oh,
in
sure.
Washington.
That would be
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
That would be very fun. Well, yeah, stick with me a minute here. I'm gonna close out the broadcast, but stay with me. We'll talk a little bit afterwards. We'll plan. We'll plot something together to have some fun. And listen, everybody. I know everybody that joined us, everybody that's out there, and what I love about Habs too is there's people that are watching that aren't going to come up, that are not going to say hello, that we don't know who you are. But I want to make sure that you know that we are very much happy to have you with us and watch us as well. If you are watching from Facebook, if you're watching from well, you can't watch from Instagram, but you're watching from YouTube or something, join Haps. Come to Haps. It's
Yeah.
a very fun platform. You can broadcast yourself if you want to. It's easy to do. It's fun. You don't have to worry about having a lot of viewers or anything like that. There's a great community here, so definitely take a look at Haps. Sounds like Saki can get sponsors now. Sponsor her show, sponsor her programming. She's
Yeah.
just absolutely fantastic. I'm so thrilled that I got to meet you and have you on the program tonight. And we're going to do this
Oh,
again. I will let you say goodnight
sure.
to all of your fans out there.
Yeah. Good night to you, and good afternoon to me.
Yeah, I was just going to say, or good afternoon if it's to you, and good morning to our friends in Germany
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we'll
Exactly.
cover the whole
Yes.
thing. So, all
Yeah.
right. Well, listen, we'll take us out with both of us here. It was, again, just a thrill to have you here. Great to meet all of
Thank
your friends.
you
Make
so
sure everybody's
much
following
for having
everybody.
me.
Share this out far and wide, and we will see all of you later. Some of you maybe in a few minutes if I can get a hold of Mr. Ross. And oh wait, um, gotcha. Oh, Mirko might even be listening at this point, so we will. I will catch up with you in a second, my friend. We'll be right back with some cybersecurity. And great to meet you, Saki.
Great to
And
meet
thanks for
you
coming.
too. Thank you too.
All right, everybody. Peace be with you, and namaste.